Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Playhouse Live. A day late, but here nonetheless. I'm here with my usual co-host, John.
Hello.
Hello.
What's going on?
I say this every week, but I'm getting more and more in the Christmas mood. And last night I started on my Christmas movie list for this year. And the idea for this year, my favorite Christmas story is A Christmas Carol, without a doubt. Okay. And so I made it an effort this year to try and watch as many versions of that story as possible.
Nice.
So last night I started with the recent Disney one with Jim Carrey, but it's animated. It looks kind of like Polar Express.
Okay. Yep.
The worst one, easily. It's like pretty authentic to the actual story, which I like. The animation I never get used to. It's just that, again, it's the Polar Express thing where it's like you can't get comfortable with it. It doesn't know what it wants to be.
Okay, is this the same feeling with the Polar Express as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then
it's even on, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you any crap on that one. It's weird. I get it, but it's really weird.
And then the other thing they do as well is to pad out the movie, I guess, they add in this 20-minute chase scene that's random. I was on my phone the whole time. It was nuts. But how are you doing this week, John?
I'm good. I'm about to throw myself into the Christmas spirit right now, mainly because I'm hosting Christmas now as well. So
nice.
Found that out today, and I'm like, all right, well, you get a Christmas hat. You get a Christmas hat. I got to go put lights on my house now. Yay!
Do you have? I don't know if it's an American thing, because our Thanksgiving dinner is our Christmas dinner, right? Do you guys have the crackers, the Christmas crackers that you pull apart? Is that just a British thing? No?
Well, no, I don't. So, I'm being yelled at no off camera, so I'm
Christmas
assuming
crackers,
no.
They're these little paper things where it's in the middle there's a prize, and the person next to you in the table, you pull it with them, and whoever gets the long half gets the prize inside. And there's normally a lame Christmas joke in there. Anyway, that's the bit. And then there's always a little paper crown, and everyone wears a little paper crown. It's I always assumed that America had that, but I guess not.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a real thing, I swear.
It sounds cool though, because I like that kind of stuff.
Rose has seen them on Doctor Who. Yeah, that's definitely a British thing.
Okay, all right.
For sure.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So this is Playhouse Live. This is your weekly discussion of all the news of the video game industry this past week. Today, there's a lot of spiciness in the air, a lot of spice to get through. But we'll start off with, I was about to jump into our main story there, but I forgot about last week we started a new opening segment.
Yes.
So we need to go straight into that right now as soon as I get. So, okay. Entertain the people, John, while I transform.
Hi, I'm John. I play video games, and I have a new spicy take for you when it comes to gaming. Go ahead and play your games. If you need a walkthrough, use the walkthrough. I don't care. We gatekeep too much here in gaming. And that's been John's PSA. Are you done, Finn? Do I need to vamp more? I need to vamp more. Okay. So, when I was born as a young child, I saw magical creatures in the... Are we done? Are we good? Okay. Not so. Okay. 7 years ago, there was a... Shit, he's not done yet.
All right, you're good. You're good.
We're good? Okay.
I come back as
Holy shit, Gamer Santa, what are you doing?
Oh yeah, yo ho ho, kids, it's me, Gamer Santa. Every week leading up to Christmas this week on Playhouse Live, I come and visit the show to determine who has been nice and who has been naughty in the video game industry with the help of my elf John.
Hi, I'm Elf John.
The good kids obviously get their shiny new PS5s on Christmas Day. The bad kids get their Ouya. That's just how it works.
I get it.
Yeah. This beard is too much. So yeah. Before we get into the new entries for the list this week, just I want to remind you of the list, and if anything's changed, if you think someone should be moved across the list, just let me know. So on the nice list, we have Sony, Microsoft, EA, and Capcom. Pretty good list.
Pretty good
All
list.
nice. All nice. Nothing's changed. On the naughty list, we have Activision Blizzard, Nintendo, Square Enix, CD Projekt Red, Bethesda, and Ubisoft.
Still sitting pretty good on all those.
Nothing. Yeah. Things might change after the Game Awards. I'm expecting a major shake-up in this after the Game Awards.
I agree.
Yeah. So, the new entries this week, I have a few for you. Let's just jump right into it. The first one, Valve.
Ooh. Naughty.
What have Valve done this year? What's like?
That's what I'm trying to that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, what have they? No, actually, let's go with nice. I know why. Because they gave us probably one of the best VR experiences. Period.
Yeah.
With Half-Life Alyx.
Okay. All right.
Actually, gave you a full reason to either get an Oculus Quest or actually bump everything up to actually get VR. I'll put them on the nice list. Actually.
Yeah. You know what else, John? They actually released a game. Outside of the norm. They went the extra mile this year, did Valve, for a video game company.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I mean, Christmas Santa, I have a wish. Can Valve learn to count to 3?
No.
I don't give a crap about Left 4 Dead. I'm talking about Portal, though. That's exactly where I'm at. I don't care about Left 4 Dead. I need Portal 3.
No,
that's all I need in my life.
You need to do like a whole lot of good in the holiday season to get that wish. I'm sorry, it's just a trade-off thing. It's you know.
That's fair.
I talk to Gabe every now and then, and he's just like, he's not getting it.
Not feeling it? Okay.
You know what? Next one, Epic Games.
I have to put them on the naughty list, and I will give one. I have to give one reason why. One reason why. I don't like Kratos doing the Fortnite dances. It bothers me.
That's such a petty reason. I love it.
Damn straight it's petty. I hate that. Everything else has been fine. I think actually Epic's doing a good job, and I kind of like what they're doing with Apple and tell them to go screw themselves pretty much. But I hate that you can see Kratos like doing the floss. That bothers me on a core level that I don't understand.
John, they're like giving out free games like every week.
I know,
they're basically doing my job. Like you can keep that reason. Like if Fortnite Santa was just a line crossed for you, that's okay. I just want to put it out there. You know what I mean?
Shit. You know, you do have a good point. They've actually been putting out some good free games too. They've been doing a pretty good job. Does one really, really bad outweigh the good they've done though? Fudge.
And one hand,
okay, fine.
It's like
fine. Put them on the nice list. They've actually been doing a good job and shaking up the industry a little bit. So just yes, that's fine.
Epic Games on the nice list. Very almost on the nice list. Next one, Jeff Keighley.
Do we have? Okay, I need you to make a third point. Nice, naughty, Saint.
Okay,
and Jeff Keighley goes with Saint.
For me, saying. Like the obvious top of the nice list. Like
yes,
Jeff Keighley.
How
always,
that man has kept together the gaming industry as he has is sainthood in video gameness, in my opinion.
Yeah, always. Most years he would be on the nice list anyway. Yes. But this year the extra mile, basically reviving E3 from the grave, or what could be done in a COVID world, doing the Game Awards, hanging out. He gave us Crash 4. Like, let's be real here. He gave us that game.
I will run with you on that one. But that's fine.
So yeah, good on Jeff Keighley. Right there at the top of the nice list for sure.
Okay.
Devolver Digital.
Devolver Digital is always on my nice list.
Yeah, nice list.
Yeah.
Big one.
100% always on my nice list.
Yeah. Anything in particular Devolver Digital did this year that has you, like, wanting to give them presents?
Ape Out. That was a great one. Freaking love Ape Out.
Ape Out.
I need to jump into Disc Room. I haven't played it yet. I bought the vinyl, and the vinyl is sick. Mm-hmm. It literally looks like a saw blade.
Yeah.
So I think I can't think of anything like legitimately bad. Didn't Devolver give us Fall Guys?
They did, yeah.
I was like, hold on, they did something good. They gave us Fall Guys. So Fall Guys, Ape Out, like they are that quintessential indie publisher, because I still consider them an indie publisher, because they give people a chance to actually play games, and I'm down with that.
Okay, next one. Facebook gaming. Now, what you're thinking of is the streaming service that they have going on, but I also want you to keep in mind the live streaming gameplay. I want you to keep in mind the work in progress xCloud competitor, and I also want you to keep in mind Oculus. That's all tied up in there into Facebook gaming.
Yeah,
so
bring that all into it. And that's what I was about to say. Like, they've got their game streaming thing. I've looked at a little bit. I do like that they actually. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they released an app where you can record your gameplay on your phone. I think that was Facebook, because I think I have it on my phone. It's so weird though, because Facebook's so icky. Like, Oculus wise, I think is cool. I get why they bought it, but Facebook is icky, yo.
Okay.
I still got to go on the naughty list. Like, I like that you can actually open up their games now within Facebook as a browser game. I think that's actually really cool. But it's not. I can't. They haven't. Their naughty outweighs their nice to me. So that's how I'll say it.
It's Facebook is like the Slytherin kid. It's just hard to put them on the nice list. It's just you can't do it. You can't bring yourself. Twitch. We'll point out, also do give out free games.
They do give out free games. Ooh, they're a hard one.
Have I played any of those games? No. But they give them out, and I hit the little redeem button every time.
I respect that. Because, shit. Let's be honest, their ad thing is getting out of hand. The Twitch ads are legitimately getting out of hand.
Piss me off.
Oh yeah, I did. On our end, Rose and I are figuring out a way to actually make that better for viewers. I actually respect that they took away blind gameplay.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with that. I use it on ours, because especially if we've never played it before, but it was a redundancy with first playthrough and blind playthrough. And it was Friday when we were streaming, and I was like, where the hell is blind playthrough? I'm typing it, and I'm like, oh. And it registered right there. I'm like, oh, it's not there. Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I get it. So it's kind of one of those,
literally just had them thoughts go. Like, I was scrolling through Twitter last night, and I was like, I found that conversation come up, and I was like, yeah, obviously. Like,
obviously, yeah. That's exactly what happened to me here. I was like, where that? Oh yeah, that does make a lot of sense. Okay, cool. First playthrough.
It's just one of those conversations that comes up all the time. Quick side note: I was just like thinking about it after I saw that, and I was like, I was thinking of what other words I use that like aren't really used for their intended purposes, and I came back to the word lame, and I was thinking like the actual definition of the word lame is like to have trouble walking. Like you can have a lame duck or a lame horse, or just like lame. But like I've never ever used it in that context. I only use it as in like lame. But like I was also like, maybe I'll stop using that. I don't know.
I actually with you. Like I did the same thing. Like, what other words do I use that aren't intended correctly, or that became something completely different in the lexicon? But if you trace it back, I've done the same thing multiple. I've taken words out, and you're just like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like, oh shit, that's what that meant. Yeah, I'm never saying that word ever again.
Yeah,
my bad. But Twitch. Let's put them on the naughty list. Mainly because, I mean, like I said, the ads are getting out of hand. They've done some questionable things this year. I mean, like every year. And it always seems like something boils up and people get pissed off at them. And, that one's actually one of the hardest ones in my opinion.
No, yeah. The ads just... Oh my god. Too much.
Yeah.
And then the final one for today is Stadia.
Sad?
Naughty or sad? Oh, that's too much for sad.
Can I go with sad?
Sad list?
If we didn't just talk about lame, I would probably say that, but let's go sad.
Yeah. That's... You don't want to put them on the naughty list because you don't want to kick them while they're down.
Oh, but... It's almost to that point. Like it was hi, we're Google. Let's jump in and be with the cool kids and don't do anything about how to be a cool kid.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna put him on the naughty list, mainly because they just did it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I know we talked about Luna, and that's where I'm very interested to see how Luna's gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think they made mistakes, but they weren't malicious. And there are certain things that, granted, it's because they're just like feeling and they're throwing stuff at the wall. But they are, like, they did make Stadia free, which the fact that the subscription wasn't free to begin with is a whole other thing, or didn't come with games. But like, it's free now, at least for the time being. And
you can get last year's model of a Chromecast.
Yeah, you can get that for free if you're already part of the YouTube thing. They're trying hard, man. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? Nice list. Nice.
You want to put them on the list? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
You override Santa. You're the top brass. So
it's just I can't bring myself to see them get put on the naughty list.
Yeah.
Maybe next year. Maybe we'll see how they pan out. If they don't change anything, it's gonna have to be a new for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or an old Chromecast. All right. So that's the list. So new entries to the nice list are Valve, Epic Games, Jeff Keighley, Devolver Digital, and Stadia. And new entries to the naughty list are Facebook Gaming and Twitch.
Okay.
It's heating up. I think it's a pretty even spread on the list right now.
I think we're pretty close to being even. I like this.
Yeah, nice. So Santa has to say goodbye for this week while I let Finn come back and you two do the news. So
fine. Santa, I'll see you next week. Lay off the cookies. This is me vamping. Man, what's going on with the airline food? What's up with that? That's all I got, guys. Look, I'm a comedian apparently, and that's all I have.
Okay.
You okay? You good?
Yeah.
Where did you go?
I don't know. I just snapped into. We were gonna do the news, right? Yeah. Get that out real quick.
Let's jump into. I'm gonna do news because it's more spicy news.
This is news. Come on.
The first one we're about to talk about, that is 100% news. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Oscar Isaac to star in the upcoming Metal Gear Solid movie. This was originally reported by Deadline. I would read out some of the article for you, but that's basically the whole story. There's not much else known about this movie or when it's going to come out. If you're one of those people who've been on the bandwagon for the Uncharted movie and it's like just now becoming a reality, probably going to be that again unless they fix their shit. But at least we have our starring actor now, Solid Snake, being played by Oscar Isaac of the new Star Wars trilogy. And what else was he in?
He was in. He's going to be in the upcoming Dune movie.
Yeah,
he was the. What's that movie with the robot and
Wall-E?
No, not that one. I hate that movie. Nah, iRobot. Keep on going. We're gonna get there. Alicia Vikander's in it.
Robot movies.
The dude from Harry Potter, and he was in the new Star Wars trilogy. Shit.
There's another guy at the start.
Ex Machina.
Okay, haven't seen it.
Oh God, you need to watch. That movie is great.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That is you need to stop and watch that movie. It is absolutely fantastic.
Okay. I'll stop the show right now and get on that. All right. So see you ever. No. So yeah, I just think that, and then there's like the tweet going around where it's like from the Joker movie where he's telling the jokes and it's like, is Metal Gear Solid already a movie? And it's like, yeah, it's perfect for that, right? It's this weird thing now where you're having a video game inspired by movies now being turned into a movie. The only thing I worry about with this is the pacing, right?
Yeah.
Because obviously you don't have the 20 hours or whatever you have for a Metal Gear game. You can't have a 4-hour cutscene because that's an hour longer than the movie should be.
That's a long movie. Yep.
So yeah, that's the only thing I worry about, but I think it's a perfect fit, especially now that like video game TVs and movies are getting better now. But I thought it would be fun.
No. I had to look up who wrote this, or who is penned to write this.
Yeah.
The script, and it's Derek Connolly, who has done Safety Not Guaranteed, which actually is a great movie. Jurassic World Dominion, which is the third Jurassic World coming out.
Yeah.
Rise of Skywalker.
Oh no, okay, it's not.
Detective Pikachu, and then Fallen Kingdom. Okay. So he's got action down.
Yeah. So he's done video game movies as well. Detective Pikachu, technically a video game movie.
Definitely a video game movie. Yep.
One of the things I love about this, and I don't know if you've seen this video going around as well, where some interview, I think for Rise of Skywalker, where they were talking about different movies coming out, and Oscar Isaac was like, yeah, Metal Gear Solid movie, I want to be in that. And they were like, oh, who would you play? And he's like, Snake. Like, come on. Who doesn't want to play Snake?
It ranks right up there with Henry Cavill going, yeah, I'd love to be in a Witcher. Yeah. I'd love to be Geralt.
Great.
And then he was. So, yeah, fan casting by themselves.
Yeah. So I thought it would be fun if we go through some of the other roles and try to determine who we would cast in the other roles. I made a list in the doc for the show, and I thought we would just like make it up as we go along on the show. I can't, man. You have it all filled out. So, do you want to take the lead in this one? We'll go one by one. I'll talk about what I
sure. I'll take
right.
lead on this one. Let me first preface. I've only played one Metal Gear Solid, so I was looking up these characters, and I'm like, all right, who would I actually cast look-wise, and who is actually a decent actor wise that I would actually do this? So
I can give a little bit of context for like the game and the characters, because I love Metal Gear Solid 1.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, I have no idea. I don't know who this person is. Oh, that's what they look like. All right, let's go with this. So for me, actually, Solid Snake, I went with Alexander Skarsgård, and he was
Liquid Snake.
One of the Liquid Snake. I'm sorry, you're right. Liquid Snake. Skarsgård was actually in True Blood. He was the blonde, kind of lanky vampire, and actually, I thought he did pretty good. I just like the Skarsgård in general.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I got on that one. Please backfill me.
For me, I had to look up an image of Alexander Skarsgård because my memory was foggy. But when I did, I came across I'll bring it up, the Google images. It was this one. I just thought like it's the one where he's shirtless and has the long hair. I don't know what movie it's from. Oh, it's Tarzan.
Tarzan, yeah.
yeah. But like that looks because there's a scene in Metal Gear Solid where you have shirtless Liquid Snake, and it just looks perfect. Okay. So I'm on board for that. The only other thing that could come to mind is like he has to be aristocratic and like naturally evil. So I thought like, what's Draco Malfoy doing these days? I thought he could maybe do it. Yeah. The only thing it would need is like to make the body, right? He would need to build himself up. But he could do that.
Weirdly enough, I think then Alexander Skarsgård would be pretty good because he was very suave in True Blood, and he can actually turn the bad guy like that switch on real fast.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe that would actually work.
Yeah.
I have no idea who Meryl. Am I saying it right? Meryl?
Yeah, Meryl.
Meryl? Okay.
She is the main. She's the female lead. And so you did Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who I only know. I haven't even watched the movie, which is probably gonna kill me. But she's in Scott Pilgrim.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's Ramona. She's Ramona in Scott Pilgrim. But I chose her because she did a just fantastic job in 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Right.
So I think like her acting chops are on point, and I think my idea was who would play well against and with Oscar Isaac, and I'd like to see Mary Elizabeth Winstead kind of go with Oscar Isaac. That's how I did my casting.
I think that would be a good choice for it, just based on what I know about her. But in my head, casting the Metal Gear Solid movie, Meryl was 100% always going to be Emma Stone. That's just that's 100%. If we can get Emma Stone on it, 100% she's Meryl. Otherwise, I think yours is a good backup. Then Naomi Hunter, Haley Atwell. I don't know her. Not familiar with her work.
Haley Atwell was, and we talked about this, that you haven't really watched the MCU. She was actually Agent Carter, which was Captain America's first love interest. Okay.
So tell me how this fits then. I guess light spoilers for Metal Gear Solid, whatever. It's like a 22-year-old game. Get over it. Naomi Hunter is, you talk to her through the comms, and she's like giving you tips and stuff. And there's sort of like a flirty back and forth between her and Snake. But like over the course of the story, you can sense that there's like something wrong with her, and she ends up like revealing herself as like a spy or basically like betraying you slightly.
Oh,
So like she needs to give an aura off of like flirtiness, but also
okay.
of like sort of an underlying evil and like untrustworthiness. And I think
It'd be interesting.
just based off Haley Atwell's face, I sort of get that from her. Yeah.
She can play the nice little flirtiness. She did really well actually with Chris Evans.
Uh-huh.
That flirtiness, and then when she kind of needed to be a badass, she was.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I was like, I don't know the characters, but I was like, I could see her possibly doing that. I didn't know she was the voice though. I was like, oh, okay, that actually just off of that, yeah, Haley Atwell, I would actually 100%.
Yeah.
What do you think of this one?
Mads Mikkelsen. This is, and I forgive you because you don't know the context. Terrible choice.
Oh, is it really?
Like, Mads Mikkelsen is a great actor, and I'm sure you could put him in any situation and he'd do fine.
Yeah.
But Otacon has to be dorky and lovable. And I don't think you can get that with Mads Mikkelsen.
I just did it because I know Mads Mikkelsen is friends with Kojima, and I thought that'd be kind of a nice little tip of that. Okay,
yeah.
What's the kid that played the Good Doctor? He was in the remake TV show of Bates Motel, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Fudge. What is his name?
Freddie Highmore?
Freddie Highmore. Then we'll go with him. Yeah,
I can see it.
I don't know.
I can see it. Yeah. Otacon is like... when you first meet him, he pisses himself. And like...
Oh, yeah, that would have been great. That's context I didn't have.
And his real name's Harald Emmerich, and you're like, why do you call yourself Otacon? It's like, it stands for Otaku Convention. Nah. And it's like,
oh, sweet Jesus. Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen, if you ever watch this, I apologize, my friend.
Yeah.
I think you're a freaking badass, and I went off a look, and I was like, Mads Mikkelsen can do this.
But like, that's the thing. Like, in Metal Gear Solid 1, he's just an absolute dork. And like, he sort of gets some character development later. When we get onto Sniper Wolf, that'll be a discussion. But
okay,
in later Metal Gears, if we ever make a sequel to this movie, he has to be able to be like the second in command. Like, he's your scientist backup dude. He has to be able to evolve into that.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I think that choice is good. I genuinely no idea who I'd have play Otacon. Maybe Chat can help me out here. But not Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah, no, let's X that one.
Roy Campbell then played by... You need to pronounce his name, because I don't know who it is.
Mahershala Ali.
Okay. What was he in?
Mahershala Ali was actually...
First of all, ambitious choice, because Roy Campbell, white.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, okay. Mahershala Ali is an Academy Award-winning actor. He won Best Supporting Actor for... I don't even remember the movie. It was a couple years ago.
He was in Moonlight. He was in Green Book. Is he the main guy in Green Book?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You know.
I think he's just a freaking fantastic actor. And again, this is me going off of who I want Oscar Isaac to kind of be with. And I just want to watch Mahershala Ali and Oscar Isaac together. I'm not going to lie to you. I even thought about putting Mahershala Ali as Liquid Snake, because I was like, I just want to see those two act together, because I think that is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. I think that in the movie version of Metal Gear, pretty much all your exposition, all your explaining of like what acronyms mean and like the secret wars between Russia and America that are still going on, I think then like you have to have an actor that is able to carry that and like keep you captivated through that. So I think if you could get him, and it might be a small role for him, but it needs it. If you could get Tom Hanks to play Roy Campbell, I think that would be very good. I want to know what chat thinks of that, because that's all I could come up with. But like, yeah, it's gonna be the back and forth between him and Snake. You need those to be good, and then you also need him like back at his office explaining shit, which doesn't actually happen in the game. You don't like cut to the Colonel, but I feel like that would need to happen for the movie. I don't know. Mailing, then you left blank. I also don't know who I'd have to play this.
Yeah, I was kind of going through a couple actresses that I could think of, and I was like...
Because I don't know any notable Chinese actresses, so like really you could get anyone who you think is talented. That's, yeah.
I know there's someone in The Mandalorian. I can't remember her name right off the top of my head. She's been doing great so far. I'm like, I'd put her in there. That's great.
John Goodman as Roy Campbell is another great shout.
I do like David Tennant as Octocon. Did I say that correctly?
Otacon.
Otacon?
Yeah.
I think David Tennant can pretty much just be anything he wants to, so I'd be down with that.
Okay. Caleb in chat points out that the director for the Metal Gear Solid movie is fantastic. He directed Kong, Skull Island, the main campaign for Destiny 2, and he's co-producer of The Walking Dead World Beyond. Good to know.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard good things about Kong, Skull Island. Grey Fox then. Who is Lewis Tan?
Lewis Tan, if I remember correctly, is the main... one of the main characters, or he made a couple appearances in Into the Badlands. It was an AMC kind of Western-ish kung fu style of movie. I'm like 90% sure he's going to be in the new Mortal Kombat movie as, is he going to be Liu Kang? I don't really remember now off the top of my head. His like fighting skills are fantastic. I have no idea. Gray Fox, he had a katana, and I'm like, I want someone cool, and I went with him.
So I think that I don't think that, and like I bet Tim could correct me here. I don't think in Metal Gear Solid 1 you ever see Gray Fox's face. So I think it would be a cool homage if you just have the original voice actor play Gray Fox, and then just have like a stunt guy in the suit.
Ray Park. Are you talking about just getting Ray Park, who was Darth Maul?
Yeah, that guy.
I actually thought about that because I looked up Gray Fox, and I was like, it's just a robot. That's all I could see. So I'm like, Ray Park would work.
Yeah, Tim says it's during his death. I don't remember him.
Oh
no. Oh yeah, he does. He when he's dying, he does like, but you only see his face. Yeah. You could get anyone. I think it would be cool to have the original voice in there. But anyway, where are we on to now? Revolver Ocelot you put down as Timothy Oliphant.
You're damn right I did.
I need to look him up.
I want to hear Rose groan real fast, though. Hold on.
Is that like a hatred for her?
No. That is one of my biggest man crushes. Is Timothy Oliphant. Okay. I'll be absolutely honest. He is the quintessential cowboy, in my opinion. And so when I looked up Revolver Ocelot, I was like, yeah, that's Timothy Oliphant, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah, I could see it. I think in my head, Revolver Ocelot is a little bit older than Timothy Oliphant is giving off. But I think you could make it work for sure. In my head, Liam Neeson was the choice.
Okay.
Because you got the idea of Revolver Ocelot down. He's like, not necessarily a cowboy, but he's an old veteran soldier. He's like amazing with a revolver. And he has like some good monologues.
Sam Elliott work?
Sam Elliott.
Yeah.
Again, I'm terrible with actor names, but I'm looking it up right
now. Pull that one up. I want to know what you think about that one. If you went with Liam Neeson and you would see Oliphant work, and then I was like, then look up Sam Elliott real fast.
Oh, yeah. This mustache.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Sam Elliott's mustache is amazing. I've seen him without it, and I don't like it. Sam Elliott, keep that mustache.
This is my man crush.
That's good. Yeah, Sam Elliott's good. He is a great freaking actor, too. I love that man.
Yeah. It's a bit of a stretch, but someone in the ballpark of Anthony Hopkins would be good for us lot, Tim says. Yeah. The fun of this is, again, looking for the sequel is you could figure out who you want to play a young Revolver Ocelot as well. So you could always have that option in the back of your head. Then Vulcan Raven. There are two potentials in my head, and you've pointed out my top one probably, which is Dave Bautista.
Yeah, Bautista. I was like, this would work. He's gotten so much better.
100% it should be Bautista. If it's not, Vin Diesel would also be a good choice.
There we go. Thank you. I was like, there's got to be another person. I was like, Bautista's what I jumped to. I'm like, there's got to be one more person that would work for this.
Either of those two would be great. Yeah, Tim points out Sam Elliott is Revolver Ocelot. Like, he just is. And he was perfect. I can't believe you just pulled out of thin air. Psycho Mantis then you put down as Doug Jones.
Yes.
Is Doug Jones a creepy dude?
Doug Jones is usually the character actor that you get if you need a creepy dude. So Doug Jones was the eye thing in Pan's Labyrinth. He's really, really good at like kind of just making himself be whatever you need to. I want to say he was, and I'm so sorry, the the fish dude in Hellboy.
Okay.
The two. He works a lot with Guillermo del Toro.
That'll be a good link up for this movie specifically. Yeah.
And so that's kind of where I was like, when I looked at a little bit of the Psycho Mantis's like frame and stature and what it kind of looked like, my head went straight to Doug Jones and just letting him do Doug Jones and just being him, where he can pretty much become whatever he wants to.
Yeah. Sniper Wolf. Then I love this choice, John. You put Natalie Dormer. Yeah.
I love Natalie Dormer.
I think that's really, really great. The only other one I have in my head that was like could be a cool choice, Gal Gadot. Mm-hmm. But I think she's a little too young. And here's why. The most important aspect of Sniper Wolf's character for this movie is she needs to be able to have chemistry with Otacon. That's like her whole reason for being there.
Okay.
So yeah, I think Natalie Dormer and who did we decide on Otacon again? There was a list of choices. Anyone who isn't Mads Mikkelsen on the list.
yeah, he's not Mads Mikkelsen. It's either David Tennant or Freddie Highmore. Yeah, I'm good either way.
But yeah, Natalie Dormer or Gal Gadot, I think would be great in that. And then Donald Anderson, who's the DARPA chief, who his role is basically to give you a bunch of exposition and die at the start. You left that one blank. I have an idea of who I want.
Danny Glover.
No. Well, that would be a good choice. I'm trying to think. Who is the guy? Who did you see the movie edition of Fences? No.
Fences.
Yeah.
No. I don't.
He's the friend of that. I found Stephen McKinley Henderson. I only know him from Fences, and then he played a guy who worked for the NSA in the newsroom. And that role is specifically why I think he'd be good as the DARPA chief. I think he would be good.
That guy.
Yeah,
no. I got to pull up our chat real fast.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, he's a great actor. I know what you're talking about.
So that would be who I choose for that. You could also straight up do Neil deGrasse Tyson, because there's a lot of science talk in there.
Sure.
You could throw him in there. So, Tim, this is the weird thing, right? And, like, Tim says Natalie Dormer has, like, a pseudo-Russian, at least from a Japanese perspective, aesthetic. Here's the thing I always assumed that Sniper Wolf was Russian because of her accent. I looked her up right before this. Apparently her character's Iraqi. At least born in Iraq. I don't know if I can't remember if she explains she's from Russian heritage or whatever, but she definitely doesn't look like that. That was something that threw me off guard as well. But yeah, she would. If we're trying to do it like the game, she would need to do a Russian accent, even though she's not Russian. Or was she trained by Russians? Yeah. Anyway, it was just that caught me like weirdly off guard. I was like, I had to look up, is she Russian? Iraqi? What? Weird. Anyway, I think we got a good cast there.
Yeah.
I think you tripped on Mads Mikkelsen, but everyone else you got pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen was the only one because I didn't know. See, that's the main one, was like, I don't know like the actual characters in the sense of what they're supposed to be like. So when I looked up Octocon, I was like, all right, Mads Mikkelsen.
I love when we have smooth transitions between segments. So, John, you've explained that quite clearly on this segment that you've never played Metal Gear Solid 1.
No, I've never played Metal Gear Solid 1.
Well, that's quite good, because there are some spicy rumors afoot, John, that you might be able to experience it in a whole new way.
I hope so.
So we're going to go through some rumors, 2 of which are concerned with Konami. Of course, we will have to bring up the spicy rumor index in a sec.
Cool, I'm down.
The first rumor being Bluepoint is supposedly remaking Metal Gear Solid 1. I mentioned this on the latest episode of Playdate when we talked about Demon's Souls. And I asked all of you what would be your dream project for Bluepoint to work on next, and I pointed out Metal Gear Solid would be mine. This was before I even knew about this supposed leak. But yeah, this rumor came from the guy who supposedly leaked God of War Ragnarok being a thing, which doesn't verify me, or doesn't verify him in my head, at least for now, because I feel like everyone assumed there was going to be another God of War, and I feel like everyone assumed it was going to be called Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Just
And it did so well. We knew we were going to get a sequel. Just on what's with God of War. So yeah, I'm with you. I follow it, but I'm like, I need a little bit more than that.
Supposedly, this game has been in development for 3 years, and they're taking super extra care with it, because they don't want to mess it up, because the series is important. And what else was I going to say? Yeah, it's up in the air whether it might show up at the Game Awards if it's true. But if it does, I will freak the hell out. But, John, on the Spicy Rumor Index, where do you rank this?
Hold on. I got my Spicy Rumor Index up here.
Okay.
Let's do... Actually, you know what? I'm going to go with the Spicy Scoop. I'll be honest. I think this is actually Spicy Scoop. I think it was one of those things that we knew Blue Point was good.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone really, minus me, enjoyed Shadow of the Colossus.
Mm-hmm.
I've been loving Dark Souls. Not Dark Souls, I'm sorry, Demon Souls with my friend. And I kind of want this. I think they need to be the ones that do Metal Gear Solid. I want to enjoy it. And actually, I was going to bring that up. Like, how do I jump into this? Because I want to know. I'm that person of like, hey, hi, I'm John. I've never played Metal Gear Solid. How do I enjoy it now in 2020? And I wanted to do something like that with you. Just how do I do it? But this excites me because then I can actually jump into it and learn and figure out all these characters and hopefully have an affinity as a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Like, Metal Gear is a blind spot in gaming for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's fine that it is, but I want to know, like, I'm very happy I did Final Fantasy VII Remake because now I have connected with these characters. I get it now. So I'm kind of hoping this is real so I can do it myself again going, oh, that's why everyone loves this. I get it now. Cool.
Yeah. I think, like, in terms of needing a remake, I think Metal Gear Solid 1 holds up, even as it is. The idea of this is that you would sort of make a Metal Gear Solid 5 engine or just general design version of Metal Gear Solid 1, where instead of top-down, you're like normal 2020 third-person game, you're behind the shoulder, you can control the camera, all that stuff, which is very intriguing to me. They did a like remaster back in the day for GameCube called Twin Snakes. It was weird.
Yes.
The faces were weird. It didn't really work for me. But yeah.
Sorry, I think I have that game actually.
Yeah. If this gets announced at the Game Awards, I'm gonna freak out. But like, it could be still worked on. I don't think if it was a thing where they've been working on it for 3 years, they just released Demon Souls.
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I don't think it would be a thing for at least another year that we would hear about.
Do we know if Blue Point has 2 teams? That's where I'm like very interested by, like, because if they've been working on it for 3 years, how long has Demon Souls been being worked on? To like, have they been just splitting their time, or do we actually know like Blue Point has 2 teams?
I am certain that after Shadow of Colossus, they got a lot of money injected into them by Sony. I'm not sure about the 2 team split. You'd have to assume that was true for this rumor to be believed.
Yeah.
Or at least like they took like a small task force to like work on
there to start laying the groundwork. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can follow that one.
But yeah, I think that because there are 2 Konami rumors, and we'll go on to the next one in a sec, both coming from the same leaker. So if one shows up at the Game Awards, I think that it means the other one is true.
Yeah.
So this next one then is another Konami-Sony partnership, presumably the revival of Silent Hills, supposedly being worked on by Sony Japan in cooperation with Kojima Productions to be a PS5 exclusive. Just the idea of Konami coming back into the space is so weird, and like working with Sony would make sense. Yeah, I always imagined like Sony would buy those 2 specific properties one day. But I also thought back in the day that they would buy Crash Bandicoot outright, and instead it just worked with Activision. So it could be a thing like that.
This one weirdly makes more sense to me, mainly because Konami is talking with Sony.
Mm-hmm.
And they have that weird mediator between Konami and Kojima. So this one, actually, there's a little more weird validity, at least in my head, about that one. Just like having, you're not talking directly, because I don't know if there's bad blood still between them, if they buried the hatchet. But at least with Sony in the middle, it kind of, you're mediating between the two parties. And I could see that possibly, especially like you said, if Sony wants to inject some money into Kojima doing his thing and he really wants to do Silent Hills, then let's be honest, Sony has the money to go, hey, Konami, let's play, and that's it. And maybe this is one of those weird deals that for Kojima to get Silent Hills, there has to be a remake of the first ones and dealings and all that fun stuff, contracts and all that. I find that crap interesting as hell.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to find out if that's actually the case and why this is maybe just a smidgen more true, but I do agree if one of these gets announced, I will put money down that the other one is also true.
Yeah. John, there's a thing in like hip hop whenever there's like beef between two rappers that normally the way it gets resolved is like a veteran rapper will like sit the two down and talk it out. It's like, I just imagine Herman Hulst in a room with Kojima and some suit from Konami, and like they're both pouting, they're both like just looking the other way. It's like, I don't want to talk to him. I imagine there's a lot of bad blood, but it has been years. You could imagine there's like a different team in there now, even at Konami. But John, if the rumors are true and this was definitely coming out at the Game Awards, where would you place this on the Spice Rumor Index?
All the way to the top.
Blazing Beast.
Let's be honest. Like, the Konami Kojima fallout was bigger than anyone actually really registered, mainly because normal news covered it as well.
Mm-hmm.
At least here in the States. So it's kind of one of those, it was a earth-shattering foundational shift within gaming.
Yeah.
And so for those two to come back, at least, again, like you said, with Sony in the middle, just making sure everyone plays nice, it would be insane that people would and let's be honest, on both of these, either Metal Gear or Silent Hills, people will collectively lose their shit.
Yeah.
And I'm all in on that.
I think, John, like, in my head, in terms of these two games being like brought back, I would swap them on the list. Like, Metal Gear Solid's way higher in my mind than Silent Hills.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I haven't played the Silent Hill games. But I get what you mean, where Sony and Konami partnering up is one thing. And Sony, like, working away from Kojima, but working on a Kojima property is one thing. Sony and Konami and Kojima all working together on one project is like a whole other beast.
It is, yeah. We're in a different space altogether. Because, I mean, we all know that Sony with Kojima is just like, just do your thing, dude. We don't care. And with this one, you're going to need hands-on to the sense of Konami is, they feel safe with the property. Kojima won't screw it up in a way that pisses off Konami, like making sure it's just the blood is behind everyone, water under the bridge, whatever the hell you want to call it. So I think Sony will be hands-on in that sense of just making sure communication is right and flowing, and then pretty much going, we trust Kojima, I'm sorry, we trust Kojima, you trust Kojima, possibly some sort of deal where Sony's kind of footing the bill a little bit, just so if anything happens, it's on Sony's dime, which would make a lot of sense to me, because then it's just a property owned by Konami. Sony kind of back in funds to let Kojima do his thing. That just makes a lot of sense business wise in my head to make every party happy. It's almost like, and you know what? We have a precedence on this one. If you really think about it, we have Sony who has made deals with Disney to get Spider-Man. there's some deals we have like just heard from Sony's camp. Like, so having this craziness is not out of the realm of Sony's bubble.
Yeah. This is some backdoor shitty deal stuff, but it's all for good cause. Yeah,
And honestly, I'm with you. You can flip both those two. I want to play both these games.
You could
really
definitely flip both of them.
Yeah.
I think in my head, and like Game Awards is different this year, obviously, there won't be a crowd. But
Yeah.
I figured if it was any other year and you had a crowd, I feel like they would flip out more. The particular Game Awards crowd would flip out more for Silent Hills than they would Metal Gear Solid. I think if it was a general audience, Metal Gear Solid would go nuts because I feel like that has wider appeal. But like the people who are into Silent Hills are into it. And
yes.
I feel like that's even like a farther reach in terms of possibilities than Metal Gear Solid coming back would be. So I fully support that Silent Hills is our first Blazing Beast. I feel like it's worthy of it. Right up there. So, the next rumor that we have going in, less of a rumor, more of a tease. Jeff Keighley tweeted out that he received a backpack that has the name Agent Jones inside, and nothing else. I'll pull it up here very quickly so that people can see. Oh god, the index is in the way. Yeah, it's just a backpack. It's got some stuff in it, presumably, and it said this bag is issued to Agent Jones. Matrix is like the only thing I could think of that this is.
Yeah, I saw this tweet and I was like, I don't even know where, like, what left field this came out of. Like, Matrix, I'm fine with it. I know we get 4 next year anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe we're going to get the first trailer to the Matrix at the Game Awards. It would kind of weirdly make sense. I can see that cohesively coming together. But yeah, I have no idea what, like, I was trying to place the bag and a gaming knowledge. I'm like, where is this at? Who the shit is Agent Jones? And I was like, I got nothing on this one.
I really hope it's not a movie trailer, John. Because last year, when Vin Diesel came out on stage, I was sure he was going to show us a trailer for what was it? 7? 8?
9,
Fast
7,
8.
22?
Yeah. But he didn't. He showed a trailer for a game, which, while terrible, was totally my kind of jam. And I'm glad he showed that instead of a dumb movie trailer. And so I think Jeff knows that. I think Jeff knows his audience. He knows that while The Matrix would be better appealing to that fan base than, say, a Fast and Furious, I still don't think he's ready to pull that trigger yet. I think this has to mean some sort of Matrix game or Matrix tie-in to Fortnite or whatever. You know?
Oh, God.
It has to be something video game related.
I didn't think about that because John Wick is in Fortnite.
Yeah.
I forgot about that concept. Damn it, you're right.
Or maybe something to do with Cyberpunk, because Keanu Reeves. It could be anything. If it's a Matrix video game, I've heard that those old PS2 and Xbox 360 games are great.
Enter the Matrix?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Path of Neo. That one was great.
Yeah.
And I actually beat the game, and it was very meta because they actually got the Wachowski twins in that game, and they were like, all right, you're going to play how we wanted the movie to end because of, like, animation, budget, the concept of good and evil. Like, it was just too philosophical for us to actually put in a movie. So we went with the Agent Smith end with Neo, but this is what we actually wanted as the ending of Path of Neo.
Yeah.
So I remember loving that game.
And so it could just be a revival. It could be a remaster, packaged Matrix stuff. I feel like that'd be easier to like put out in time for a co-release with the movie or like right before the movie.
Yeah.
It's got to tie into the movie in some form. I don't know. But I feel like that'd be cool. So, the ultimate question: where do you put this on the rumor index?
Let's give it the good old. Because I want to know what it is, I'm going to go with Tantalizing Tale.
Okay. All right.
Like Keeley's teasing it for a reason, and it's not just some random thing. So I'm interested to see what it actually is.
Yeah. I gotta say, John, I'd probably put it in the same place, but the fact that it's just one level below Metal Gear Solid is pissing me off, so I'm gonna bump Metal Gear Solid up to Piping Hot Possibility.
That's fine. I'm good.
That's where it's going. It's just right. It's just how it needs to be.
Shit, do you want to put it all the way to the top? I don't care. We'll double down.
It could go
We're
all the
both
way
excited
to
for the
top.
games.
It's the thing is, like, the reason I think Silent Hill's a rung above is I think we're going to see it at the Game Awards.
Okay.
And then, if that's true, then Metal Gear Solid is the thing. But I don't think it's going to be the other way around. I definitely think you're going to see Silent Hills first. So that makes it just that little bit hotter. So yeah, I'll keep that at the top.
Okay. I'm good with that.
So now there's just one thing. This is less of a rumor and more just a crazy conspiracy theory that I cooked up.
Wait, time out. Please tell me you have a tinfoil hat.
I don't have a tinfoil hat. I should have made that. So, do you have the stream pulled up, by the way? Because I have visual aids.
I do. Yeah, I've got the stream pulled up. I can see a feed of us.
Okay, so sometime earlier this year, Netflix announced that for the 20th anniversary of Chicken Run, they were working on a Chicken Run sequel that would be coming to theaters and Netflix.
I remember this.
On November 30th of this year at 11 a.m., the Bandai Namco UK marketing director retweeted the Game Awards being on December 10th and said, quote, "Big day."
Okay.
It was reported
that you think. Oh, Jesus.
It was reported by GamesIndustry.biz that Aardman Animation is partnering with Bandai Namco on a new cross-media IP. And I quote from the article, "Few details have been given about the property itself, but the collaboration is expected to extend over multiple projects, with the two companies saying that the first exists across multiple media." That's a very important job, multiple media. So we have all these things coming up, and I pose to you. It's coming out. It's going to happen. This game was good. I feel like Tim's in the chat. Tim could back me up right now. Is Chicken Run getting a sequel? And we talk about Metal Gear Solid 1 being iconic.
Yeah.
Chicken Run for the PlayStation 1, believe it or not, is basically Metal Gear Solid. It's like, it's dumb, Aardman, like Wallace and Gromit looking chickens, but the gameplay is shockingly similar to Metal Gear Solid 1. You're top-down camera, you're running around, you're sneaking past dogs. It's stealth action gameplay, tactical espionage action, as they call it. I just think all the signs point in one direction.
Okay.
They are making a sequel to the Chicken Run game.
Here's what I will say. I will play devil's advocate on this one. And I will say, no, they're not, because they're going to give us a remake of this game to put Chicken Run back in the cultural relevance of people. I love the movie. I will be absolutely honest. I think the movie is fan-freaking-tastic.
Yeah.
I remember, I never played the game. I actually always wanted to, but I think to have a remake or anything to play on the PlayStation 5 to first, let's get the cultural, let's get Chicken Run back in the lexicon, the zeitgeist of people talking. What the hell happened at the Game Awards? Did you hear they made a Chicken Run remake? What the shit are you talking about? I have to go check this out. That's all you have to do. Like, people, like, I love Chicken Run. I want a remake of this. I think that'd be great. That way, and I'll jump on your multiple media's bandwagon. We're going to get a sequel to Chicken Run, which I've been wanting for, 15 years? I have no idea how old Chicken Run is.
20 years. 20 years.
Jesus.
It's 20-year anniversary this year.
14. And then we'll get a sequel to the game as well.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Cluck.
Caleb asks if he can pose an alternate theory. Go for it. This is my crazy ramblings. Tim also says, I only played the Wallace and Gromit game. I was sure you would have played this Chicken Run game. I swear to God, Tim, it's your jam. But are we still in the age of movie adaptation games? And here's what I will say. I've said this before on the show. I feel like licensed games are making a resurgence. Movie tie-in games are making a resurgence. In the same way that games are being adapted into movies, and we already talked about Metal Gear Solid and other video game movies, Mortal Kombat, The Witcher being a TV series. And I feel like the opposite way, like we talked last week in the show about Project 007. Now, I don't think that's going to tie into No Time to Die. Going to be its own thing. I'm just saying that, like, you can't make a Chicken Run game without tying it into the movie. You can't make like a separate Chicken Run universe. It's just not going to work. However, I still think that it could be a good game. I just want a Chicken Run game. That's all I want. That's what this is all about. Caleb says they're making a Wallace and Gromit universe of games because Aardman Animation owns the Wallace and Gromit IP as well, and Chicken Run 2 will be part of a larger Aardman universe. That could go right up on this board of crazy. I support it. I don't know how the hell you would make a Wallace and Gromit game unless it's like a Telltale visual novel where like you're dating.
Okay, that'd actually be pretty cool.
You're dating Wallace or whatever, but you know, that would be cool. But no, like the Chicken Run game, like if you haven't played it or you haven't heard of it, look it up. It's crazy how good that game is, and I just want a sequel.
And for you, buddy.
Yeah,
I will not make any guarantees, but I will find the Chicken Run game and I will play it. Maybe on CouchCapades.
It would be a good CouchCapades game, I think. It follows the plot of the movie pretty well. There's a lot of like cool touchstones. The voice actors are all the same, I think. So that's,
they even got Mel Gibson. Holy shit, that's awesome.
I think so. I can't remember. I was a kid when I played it, but I think So, where does my crazy conspiracy theory lie on the Spicy Rumor Index? I almost said Crazy Rumor Index.
Your visual aid alone, I'm gonna have to bump this. Let's put it in Spicy Scoop.
Okay,
I'll give you Spicy Scoop from your visual aid. I would be down. I would love just that idea that there is a spot for like world exclusive, and it's Chicken Run. I want that in my life so bad, just because I'm literally, we're gonna be streaming. I'm gonna look like at you and be like, "You son of a bitch, you did it!
Yeah,
you actually did it."
And here's the thing, John. This game is going to get a flat 70 on Metacritic, and I'm going to love it.
Flat 70. Do not pick it up, but yes, flat 70.
I do love the idea that, like, at some point in the Game Awards, this will have to be put in somewhere, right? I also love that in this rumor index, what we have this week, it's more exciting than The Matrix, but only slightly less exciting than Metal Gear Solid. I was also the same level as Metal Gear Solid had I not bumped Metal Gear up one.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, like, with The Matrix, I like Keanu Reeves. I think he's a great actor. I'm very interested to see how Neil Patrick Harris fits into this movie. That's where I'm like, how is NPH in here?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So yeah, that's our big rumor roundup for this time. So yeah, be on the lookout for Silent Hills, Metal Gear Solid, The Matrix, and Chicken Run, apparently. So yeah, we will have to put that away for this week. Now we're moving on to our next actual news story, and not just my crazy ramblings. We got some Dragon Age news. It's a bit of salty sweet this time, John, because we got some good news and some bad news. I'll start off with the good. Is that Jeff Keighley has confirmed that we will see Dragon Age 4 at the Game Awards in some fashion. This is one of those things where, if you remember when we were reacting, I don't know if you were on the panel, but we were reacting to EA's E3 EA Play, and like they talked about Dragon Age but didn't show it at all, and I was like, why even mention it? The fact that we're going in knowing that we're seeing some Dragon Age this time is good. I think it was actually at the Game Awards 2018. 2 years ago. That like they had that first initial teaser, which was just nothing. But yeah, I think Dragon Age is still a property that is beloved because it hasn't had its version of Mass Effect Andromeda yet. It hasn't been ruined. But there's definitely some hesitance around BioWare, and there's a reason for that, and we'll get into it in a minute. But generally, BioWare has been in a rough state. Definitely not like their old selves. And so I wonder, is there anything they could do at this? Because I'm picturing like a cinematic thing. I'm not picturing a whole lot of gameplay. I'm just wondering, is there anything that can like just tell people that like BioWare's back, baby?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I don't think so. Like, I remember their tease of Dragon Age in 2018. It was pretty much it was a door, if I remember correctly, or just kind of looked like a Slytherin door. And then I'm thinking about all the other teases that we've had over the years,
like a Slytherin door.
It did look like I'm thinking of like Metroid Prime 4, Starfield, and all those. And like how you'd have to give just a little bit more than that to kind of be like, hey, we're BioWare. We've effed up a couple times. Here's what we're doing to get us back. And I hate saying it, but I almost would think that maybe doing one of those BioWare kind of cut-ins where it's like people that are actually working on the game and they get to talk about it a little bit. I think that might give a little more faith than a CG trailer, to be honest with you.
For me, John, it has to be in my head, I'm picturing. I definitely don't think there's going to be gameplay. There's definitely not going to be a gameplay demo because the Game Awards just don't really do that. They like the fanfare, they like the spectacle, and so what I'm thinking is, and this will indicate no quality of the game, but if there's one thing that people look to BioWare for, it's telling good stories. So I'm thinking you have like a 5-minute trailer that is just telling a small story that could take place in the world of this game, similar to, in my head, like an Overwatch trailer, or like something you see again, like Blizzard again, like the World of Warcraft trailer that was at Gamescom this year.
The ones that really kind of like get you in there, and here's you know what, I'm good with that. That'd be cool.
Just tell a story. That's all you need to do.
That's all we need, BioWare. You're good at it. Do it.
Yeah. And so again, the bad news for BioWare this week: veterans Casey Hudson and Mark Dara have left the studio. Casey Hudson already had left the studio prior. I can't remember whether it was after Andromeda or before, but it was sometime around Anthem development where he left and then came back. And I think he came back to like right the ship with BioWare and Anthem generally. But now he's gone again, and so is Mark Dara this time. Two people that like are, as far as I know, intrinsic to sort of the BioWare community, and like they're seen as like visionaries behind the studio and what it stands for, and so that's a bit of a blow. It's like one of those things, like every time you read a headline about a Halo Infinite director leaving, and you're just like, that game, oh, I want it to be good. Yeah. Come on.
No, I'm with you. This is a foundational shake.
Yeah.
And hopefully they have, I hate saying this word, but young blood like ready to get in there and right the ship, or have something they can hinge on to get them back to where they were and then propel them forward. That at the end of the day, that's what we want from most companies, is righting the ship and pushing forward. And if they've got some storytellers in BioWare in the depths where they've got an idea and they can run with it, especially if it's for Dragon Age, I think now's the time to pull that trigger and let's shake it up a little bit, because we got to do something to show, like you said, BioWare's back, even though we're missing 2 key points now.
In my head, like, because BioWare used to be the prize studio of EA. And so in my head, like, I imagine EA is the parent and BioWare is the child, and they were all like just doting over BioWare at one point and like giving it a bunch of toys and just like showing it to people like, look at my child, look at how good it is. But now, like, the child's a little bit older, right? Just a little less cute, maybe acting out a little bit. And then you got the new baby. You have Respawn coming in here. And it's like the new hotness. And it's like now they're getting all the toys. They're getting all the praise. And like older sibling BioWare is just a bit sad now. And it doesn't really know where to turn. But like once BioWare hits its edgy teen phase, I think I'm on board. I think if they go...
Well, I'll say it. I think we're there. Because I mean, with Andromeda and Anthem... That was that rebellious...
Yeah, that's them going through puberty. That's their voice breaking.
No, great. Puberty. Now we're in the hot topic age.
And so, John, if we go to the Game Awards and we see, like, an edgy Dragon Age 4 trailer, we'll know we're right about this. We'll know we're
Exactly.
dealing with emo Bioware teenager.
I need a guitar riff like no other guitar riff, and I need to see some like eyeliner slick back hair. I want to see My Chemical Romance in Dragon Age. I hate myself that I said that I'm leaving.
Just like, oh, okay. Some like heavy metal looking dragon. Shit you would see in like Warhammer. And just everything is black and there's fire everywhere. That would be...
Yeah, I'd be in, honestly. I'd be like, okay, all right, BioWare, you have my attention. Let's go.
Uh-huh. And so I'm hoping for good stuff. I have friends who just love like Golden Age BioWare. And I think they've got the goodwill coming from the Mass Effect trilogy remaster on the way. Like, they're solid games. You can't really mess them up unless you have a bad port, which please don't. But, you know, if you can like hit that beat, Mass Effect's back, baby, and then you can also hit new Dragon Age, emo Dragon Age, I think the revival of BioWare is complete. Yeah.
Yep.
It's just a matter of, I think, whether the culture has changed around BioWare since, you know, the Schreier articles around Anthem and how like they're relying on the BioWare magic that never came and it was crunch and it was horrible. And just like how much, again, EA being the parent, how much support they're willing to give them. So yeah, look out at the Game Awards for that. Let's go into some other news stories from this week that we're going to give a mention to. The first one, we have to mention it.
Yeah.
Kratos from God of War is coming to Fortnite.
Yes.
What's your initial take? What's your locked and loaded take from this?
Why?
Okay.
like literally why? Like I get it. Okay, so I get the idea behind it in the sense of getting Kratos out there to possible gamers who have not played God of War. I get that part. Yeah, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. It's just I haven't played Fortnite in such a long time, so I'm trying to figure out, like, I guess it fits in to this season because I know Galactus just destroyed everything, like, 3 days ago, I believe. So I like their seasonal things that they've been doing. So I just want to know how Kratos, like, legitimately fits into this giant narrative that is Fortnite.
He doesn't.
Yeah. That's probably what it is. It's just there.
Yeah.
So, like, is he going to be shooting a gun, or do you get to throw the Leviathan axe? That's my next question. I want to know.
Yeah, I don't see Kratos shooting a gun.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be like a Thanos thing, where like one player controls Kratos and he just goes in the rampage until you kill him. No, this like doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't make me feel anything. Just because of how apathetic I am towards Fortnite, and I'm like, it's not like, oh, they're ruining Kratos.
No,
they're bringing him into like this world where he doesn't belong. He's gonna floss. Like, it's what Fortnite is, just like a pop culture touchstone now.
Yeah.
That you're gonna just see these things in. Like, Batman's was there, Thanos was there. Of course, Kratos is gonna be there. He's pop culture now. Yeah. Like, why not?
See, the flossing is the part that kind of like, really. I would love if it was just like you try and make Kratos dance and he's just like, no,
no,
and that's it, no. And I'm like, all right, cool, I'm down with that. But yeah, I'm with you in that sense. Like, I don't really care about Fortnite. Good for it for sticking around this long and really being a change in how gaming works. I love that part. But
yeah,
I mean, you might as well throw them in there because it's pretty much just a grab bag of everything, and that's fine.
It's just, this is on the level with me of, you know, like when you see those gifts of like you see that one where like Kratos is sitting at the desk, and it's the remake of the other one, and he just goes, he gives the thumbs up. It's like it's like that. It's just like a fun little thing. It doesn't bother me at all. I'm still gonna be. I'm not gonna picture him flossing while I'm playing Ragnarok. It's just not. It's just two different.
That's where I have to make sure I gotta block that out. Yep.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. I think Fortnite, Tim was in chat earlier, I don't know if he's still here, but he says, like, I just want Fortnite to die already. I think it is dying. I think they're, like, on the slope downward. But you're going to see more of these.
Yeah, I think we're getting to that point where it has hit its peak.
Yeah. And
it's on the back end of the slope now, and they're going to have to do either Epic's going to have to bring out something new, or like legitimately shake it up, which I know that's what they've been doing with like these world-ending events, and the servers go down for like 2 days, and then it's a whole new world and shit has changed. Which I really do respect that. I think that is a very cool idea to make a games as a service keep on evolving with that, and like other games like Apex and all that have been pulling on that as well. So I think that's cool, but I'm with you. I think we're starting to see the downturn of just cultural relevance that is Fortnite.
I was gonna say something else, but yeah, I think like this is gonna be a thing that keeps happening, right? As long as video games are popular and exist, right? In a few months, maybe at the Game Awards, because they're announcing like new stuff there. I know you're gonna see tie-ins with Among Us, right? You're gonna see like I don't know,
Chief.
Bugs Bunny ears or something. I don't know. The kids still like Looney Tunes. You're gonna see Animaniacs skins for Among Us. It's gonna be everywhere.
I mean, Looney Tunes is having a resurgence, which I'm down with.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a new freaking Space Jam coming out next year, so yeah, we'll see it.
Oh yeah. Bugs Bunny's gonna be back in the public eye, I guess. Yeah. There was another thing where I think and this might be like a fake. I'm gonna need chat to like help me verify this. Because before they announced this, there was the teaser image, which was like a black silhouette, and you just saw like his shoulder. There was another one circulating where I swear to God it was Ellie from Last of Us. And I don't know whether that's like a fake mock-up or whether that's happening. But like that might be a thing.
I'll be absolutely honest. I missed that one.
But you'll see more of these. Also, like Fall Guys did a spoof of it where they had that same like silhouette image, except it's very clearly Doom Guy in the Fall Guys universe. So that's gonna be cool. Did you find anything on the LA in Fortnite thing? No. Okay, it might just be. I might have been trolled. Chat could have been trolled. Who knows? But if LA does come out in Fortnite, I predicted it. It's true. Neil Druckmann is now co-president of Naughty Dog. Cool.
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Cool. Good for you, Neil. Honestly, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, oh, that's great.
Yeah. There were other promotions, right? It's just one of those things where after this big project, Last of Us 2 came out, it was time to, reshuffle things and give people fair dues and stuff. So yeah, he's that now. I wonder how much those sort of admin managerial duties take away from his ability to be creative. Like, is he doing tax returns and looking at spreadsheets now, or what's he up to?
Probably.
Yeah.
I know. I'm very interested too, because I know he's working with the writers over at HBO for the show too. So I don't know. Maybe it's kind of a weird split. Maybe that's why they're co-presidents, so he can still do the like creative side, and someone else can take the paperwork side.
Yeah. And in our last story, Activision is suing Netflix for poaching its former chief financial officer.
Okay, I missed this one, so I was reading it real fast. I'm like, what happened?
This is one of those things where until I read this headline today, I was like, I just remembered that story where the Activision CEO went to CFO went to Netflix and like nobody could explain why, and that was just the end of that story. And I was like, oh, weird, whatever happened with that? And then it's apparently he was trying to, or at least Activision are saying this in their lawsuit. They're saying that he wanted to go to Netflix for a while, and Netflix were like encouraging him to breach his contract so he would get fired, so that he could move on to Netflix. That's the claim they're making. It's just basic legal language saying out what their things are, but they say like Netflix's, I don't know how to pronounce that word, tortious and unethical conduct is intentional and a directive, quote, from the top. So this was like, John, you want to talk about backdoor shady deals? This is mega corporation. This is like Cyberpunk 2077 corpo stuff that you would see. Major power plays, supposedly. Yeah. But yeah, just one of the things that like these two behemoths are now going to be going at it in court. It's actually, they say that the rumor is that Netflix said like, hey, if they sue you for this, we got you. We'll pay it. We'll pay your legal fees. We got you. And so they decided not to
Jesus.
sue the guy. They instead went after Netflix.
Wow.
Yeah. Just really
Oh,
good
this
stuff.
one's going to be spicy to see play out.
Yeah. So that's all the news from this week. If you're watching live on Twitch, be sure to stick around after the end of the show. We'll be doing a post-show Q&A talking about anything that you want to talk about from today or anything that just popped into your head and you want to ask us. If you are watching this on YouTube or various podcast services, you should know that this show is streamed live from twitch.tv/playhouselive every week. You can catch us, you can hang out and chat, you can ask us questions, all that good stuff. And yeah, as always, you can still always catch it the day after on YouTube and Spotify and Google Podcasts and all those good services. And yeah, we'll be back next week with another episode of this, but before that, you should check out our Twitch channel anyway, specifically because this Thursday we will be doing our live reactions to the Game Awards hosted by Jeff Keighley. It's going to be a long show. It's going to be late for me this time around, but you know what? I'm into it. This is my bread and butter. It's been too long since Summer Game Fest, and I'm ready for some spicy predictions, spicy reactions. It's going to be a good time.
Yep.
We're going to do a prediction show, and I don't want you to give anything away. Maybe something like that was like obvious to you that you just you're looking forward to from this time in terms of announcements, trailers, other things. For me, there was, because we're having 3 predictions each for this prediction show, and there was one that I took off because I didn't think it was that interesting. But I predict a lot of technical faults. I expect the stream to go down at least once.
Yep.
A lot of blunders, awkward moments. It's just one of those things where this is the first year they're doing it like this, and Jeff's got a little bit of experience with Summer Games Fest now, but over the course of a 4-hour show, it's like something's gonna go wrong. I'm sure Jeff is working hard to like there's audio description now happening live. There's a bunch of stuff happening, and good on him. But it's just there's going to be some blunders.
Yeah, I might actually go and get what I call a pitch count is for baseball and whatnot, but to see how many times do we get the. So what are you thinking?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And is the person just waiting for that the receiver to come back in and just like, oh, this is what we're talking about. So just to see how long those pauses or how many times those pauses happen, I think that's going to be fun for me.
John, in my actual prediction, I wrote out no less than 50 botches, blunders, or otherwise awkward moments.
50? I can see. Actually, 50 seems about right for 4 hours. Jesus.
At least for 50. Yeah, I'll be interested to see how to do the Game Awards Orchestra this year. That's always something I really look forward to, is the Game of the Year melody. And the Red Dead Redemption 2 guys had a freaking awesome performance last year. I really loved that. So yeah, it'll be cool to see what cool things Jeff does with the show this year. Looking forward to it. There's going to be some hotness, you better believe it. Might be Metal Gear Solid and or Silent Hills. Might be Chicken Run. Who knows? But be sure to tune in for that. I will be catching up on all the big news from that comes out of that next week here on Playhouse Live. Until then, thank you, John, for joining me, and we will see you next week.
Bye.